Hi, I'm Lorraine. Welcome to your short on time practice. This is the restful short on time practice. So you will need a couple props, one blanket and one bolster. You can do it without a blanket, but I just like to have it just in case for some additional covering or even additional padding on that bolster. We're actually going to start in a mountain pose, just like we have been for the other short on time classes. And you're probably like, I thought you said it was restful. I promise it is. We're starting here at the top. We're just going to do some half sun salutations. And I like to do this before some restorative practices just to kind of get the jitters out, right? Sometimes it's a little bit more challenging for us to drop in to a practice like this right away. So we'll use this as our way to drop in and our way to signal to our nervous system that we are safe and you do have the permission to rest. So go ahead and start at the top of your mountain pose, palms face forward, feet rooted. Just take a breath in. Let that go. Stay here for a few rounds of breath, just allowing yourself to ground, to feel connected. Knowing that these classes, when you're short on time, don't always have to be strength based or flexibility based or power vinyasa based, that sometimes 20 minutes of rest can be a little more potent or powerful than even those other classes. In combination, the benefits just amplify. If you're with me, let's reach the arms up on an inhale, reach tall. On the exhale, just forward fold into those legs. Again, we're just doing some half sun salutations, so no vinyasa. Hands to the shins, find your halfway lift, lots of length. Exhale, just dive back in. On the inhale, let's stand up, root to rise, grow tall. On the exhale, hands to the heart space, just using these shapes as like a meditation. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold, dive it back in. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, dive back into those legs. Inhale, stand up, reach it up again. Hands to the heart space, one last time through. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, forward dive. Inhale, find length through that spine. Exhale, bow into those legs. Stand up one last time. Massive inhale as you reach. Just bring the hands to the heart space as you breathe out. Take an inhale. Big exhale. Reach the arms up one last time. Exhale, forward fold. Just dive in. Half glance as you breathe in. Plant the hands and just step back to a plank pose. Engage through the belly only once today. Drop the knees down, find tabletop position, and maybe come to seated on your shins. We'll grab our bolster and our blanket, and we'll set them up parallel with the top of our mat. And it's probably about in the middle of your mat lengthwise. We are going to set our pelvis down onto this, and I'm going to keep my blanket there. If you didn't want the blanket, you didn't have to have it. Come back to tabletop position and walk the knees back just slightly. Slowly lower the pelvis down onto that support. Lower the chest and create a pillow with your hands. Turning the cheek off to your favorite side and just allowing yourself to land here in our first restorative shape. Allowing the hips to drop into that bolster, to be supported. Again, if you did have the blanket and you felt like the support was a little too high, feel free to remove that blanket and just let the hips land on your bolster. Otherwise, we just stay here and breathe. Not trying to change the breath though, just allowing it to move in and out at its normal rhythm. Allowing the hips to drop in, allowing gravity to press against our body and allow us to drop in just a little more. Stay here. And just like any other restorative practice, we will be holding these shapes anywhere from 5 to upwards of 10 minutes. Just breathe. Allowing that nervous system to start and begin its shift. Maybe this sense of ease and calming washing over you. Maybe you notice that as your legs start to relax a little more. Your thighs get a little heavier. Your chest, even your head. If you needed to turn the cheek off to the opposite side, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, just stay. Land. Maybe allowing the silence to even be a form of support for you today. knowing that even though you're short on time, there is enough time just to rest. And as if to signal a change is about to come, go ahead and take one deep inhale. Deep exhale. Gently bring the forehead to your hands. Gently bring the chin to your mat as the hands come underneath the shoulders. And you ever so gently press your way up to a tabletop position. Scooting back again onto the shins as you turn that support perpendicular to the top of your mat. Walk your knees a little forward and make your way into a supported child's pose. Allowing that bolster to come in towards the thighs, allowing your chest to drape down onto that support, and then turning your cheek again off to your favorite side. This shape we will not be in extremely long. In fact, we are likely going to stay less than 5 minutes here. We just want to use it as a transition, as a nice forward fold into ourselves before we get into our final shape. If ever you needed additional props, you're more than welcome to pause and grab them. Otherwise, just find yourself here, supported child's pose. Again, not here super long. Maybe just acknowledging the folding into yourself here. Take one more huge inhale. Deep exhale. Slowly bring the hands out. Plant through the hands and ever so gently lift the head off of that bolster. I'm going to remove my blanket for our last shape. I'm going to scoot that bolster just a little forward, and I'm going to make my way onto my sits bones. I'm going to use the blanket on top of me just as, an additional, not only weight, but an additional support and warmth in this class. Go ahead and bring that bolster just along the sits bones and just allow yourself to lower ever so gently down. Finding a place for your head, ensuring that your head is on that bolster. If it's not, feel free to scoot down. You could even grab an additional blanket if that felt more appropriate to place at the top if you were taller. If you did have that blanket on top of you and you wanted to have it unfolded a little bit more, you could. Maybe allowing the feet to be covered. And just slipping in to this final resting shape. Enabling yourself to find rest. Allowing yourself to be supported by your props. Just arrive. Allowing that spine to just be ever so gently propped up. Maybe noticing that shift. Of where you started to here. If you have a little more time, you're more than welcome to stay. Otherwise, because this is the Short on Time series, we will say that that is the official end. Take your time coming up and out of this practice. Maybe take a big breath in and a big breath out. Maybe rolling off to your favorite side if you are ready. And ever so gently pressing your body up and knowing that that was enough rest to move on into your day or to move into deep sleep. I hope you got what you needed. Namaste.